This is really technical. It's very hard, and you're wrestling with the brightest minds in the entire world. And they're trying to beat you. They're making it almost impossible if you use retail stuff. A couple times a week, that's all you need. One good setup per week can replace your entire work week and what you earn. It doesn't feel like that, but it's exactly what it is. And when you can repeat it every week, it compounds. Your confidence level, your trust in yourself and what you learn will repeat. Then you're willing to do what? What an entrepreneur does: expand. Make more changes to allow for this to completely and utterly replace your job. But that doesn't happen right away. You can't try to force that to be immediate or overnight. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. You need to understand that, because you're going to hold yourself back by having that mindset instead of just simply saying, okay, I'm rolling my sleeves up. I'm committing this entire year. It's less than a 4-year degree, but you're going to make more than any PhD, any master in business, because there's no limit to this.
That's it. I promise you this. If you give this 3 months of study, serious, sleeves rolled up, diligently going in every single day, back testing and looking at it, and then for at least 2 or 3 more months of forward testing it, 6 months with just what I've taught here, I am confident, I am absolutely confident that you will have found your model. But as real life sometimes is, it's unfair. Okay, it doesn't give us what we want. Sometimes our expectations and our wants are denied. And in today's climate, that is not popular. That's why this market and trading these markets is very, very difficult. There's an algorithm that delivers efficient market delivery. You can argue with me all you want. You're not going to convince me. I know it. If you go into price action with that market efficiency paradigm perception of looking for this characteristic in price, I promise you, you will never look at charts the same way again. It'll unlock a lot of things. Remember the movie The Matrix? And Neo finally sees the Matrix as it really is in binary code, ones and zeros. He has clarity. Well, that same event, as silly as it may sound, ends up happening when you look at price action, when you start looking at it from this perspective. Because this mentorship is to hopefully inspire you to pick up a skill that, if you deem it useful and you decide at your own discretion and your own timing, and you assume that risk on your own, because I'm not going to tell you to do this, if you decide to get really good at this and you put money behind it, that's a skill set that could, I'm not promising, but it could alleviate some of the problems with what I believe is coming in terms of financial hardship, not just in America, but everywhere. Jobs are getting harder and harder to have. The economy's a mess. So how do we answer that? How do we get another income stream coming in? This is, in my opinion, this is one of the ways that you can at least investigate the idea of doing it. This is what I do to engage price. This is how I call the targets. Find the logic of anything I'm showing you here and anywhere else. It doesn't exist. It does not exist, because this is self-reliant. It stands on its own. I don't need to defend it. That's why I tell everybody, go through my videos and then wrestle with it, because you're either going to walk away thinking this is too much work. Okay, great. You didn't debunk it. Or you're going to say, oh my goodness, this is exactly what's going on. Hello, conversion. There is no method that hits every single time. Okay, everything that I trade with and teach is like everything else. It's imperfect. That means there's going to be losing transactions, largely because of the operator, me or whoever else is using it, and you have to take ownership of that. Now, there are going to be days where we don't have this many retracements back and back and back, and then it goes lower. It'll be just 1 or 2, and it just keeps on going. Or many times it'll be just right at the opening, and that's it. You missed it. It just goes right to where you thought it was going to go for the day, and you can't get mad about that. You should be happy that your analysis concepts are speaking to you with that much clarity, and just know that because they repeat, none of you should be upset that you missed a trade. Like, none of you. Nobody has the permission,
Okay? You have no right to be angry about missing a trade because they are like buses. Okay? Mass transit buses that come by. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be fucking hard because you're wrestling yourself. But once you finally get past yourself and get out of your own fucking way, then you'll really start to learn. And you'll see that you've made it much more harder than it needs to be. Because it's all basically psychological. You're afraid of losing money. You're afraid of being wrong. You're afraid of failing. You're afraid of your fucking spouse or your coworkers or your family members, your friends to say, I told you it wasn't going to work. It's all a pipe dream. And some of you deep down inside, listen, folks, listen. It's going to get so hard that you're going to actually create the environment for that to happen. So that way it's ending all the pain. That short little momentary embarrassment around your family and friends, your coworkers. Yeah, I lost my fucking money. You're right. It's fucking bullshit. Nobody's making money. It's all fucking fraud. It's a scam. It's all horseshit. Because you don't want to endure. Because it's hard wrestling with that feeling of, what would they think of me if I fail? Fuck that. Why are you even entertaining that shit? Listen, failure is a fucking choice. That's not a guarantee. Failure is a fucking choice. Setbacks, speed bumps, adversities, that's all part of this. Like anything else. Anything worth doing is going to be fucking hard. It's going to cost money. It's going to cost time. It's going to cause you to have to put more effort into this than anything you've ever done. Weak people don't survive in this industry. Unorganized, undisciplined, irresponsible motherfuckers do not stay in this business. You have to be an adult that is an independent thinker that understands there's real risk in this shit. You can lose your ass. And when you have this skill set, you're going to feel exactly what I feel. And some of you that are weaker and younger, you're going to do the same shit I did when I was 20-some years old. I was the biggest dick, the biggest prick there ever was. And you can hear it sometimes. It's still in me. That young man still likes to raise his head up once in a while. But the old man in me just to remind his ass, sit the hell down. But that humanity in me is still there. But you're going to feel what it feels like to know what you know. And nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can make you forget about it. They can't discount it. They can't say it doesn't work. Who gives a fuck how many people are going to doubt you? Listen, you start making $50,000 a fucking month. How many people will it take for you to be convinced that what you're doing is bullshit? How many people will it take for you to be convinced that you making over 6 figures every 6 fucking months consistently? How many people will it take for them to convince you that what you're doing is a waste of your fucking time? How many people does it take you to do that? There ain't enough. There ain't enough. And you're going to understand you're bulletproof. Who gives a fuck who likes you and doesn't like you? Who cares? Is it going to change how you sleep, where you sleep, how you eat, how you raise your children? No. What you do with your money is your fucking business. You don't owe anybody an explanation what the fuck you're going to do with your money. None. But they're all going to tell you what you should be doing with it, what you shouldn't have done with it. So don't even invite them into the conversation. You got to keep those types of people, which is the public, the social media fucking clowns. They're all going to pretend they know something better, and they ain't bringing shit to the discussion. To let them influence anything in your development is stupid. But some of you will get caught up in this trap of constantly learning because you're afraid to sit down with one model, follow the rules, stick to that process, and let it yield whatever experience is intended for you. And then you have a baseline. That's why I could literally give out a model every single day. And some of you want me to do that. But the only thing it's going to do is It's like a dog in a meat market. You ain't going to know what to do. You're going to run around and you just chase everything. Instead of sitting down and say, you know what? I'll just have a filet. Thank you. And I've done that with the 2022 model. I've done that just recently with the silver bullet model. I have lots more coming, but you don't have to have anything else. The optimal trade entry was enough. OTE pattern, the flagship that was on my YouTube channel. That's enough. The 2022 model, that's enough. You can use it in every session. London, New York, PM session. You can use it in London close. You can trade it in Forex. You can trade it in futures. You can trade it in crypto. You can trade it in whatever the heck you want to trade it in. It works. There's no excuse. You have zero excuse not to have some baseline by now. You should have some kind of experience to be able to say, you know what? This works. And I have to work on refining it, but I know it works because I've seen it in back testing, looking at where it has done this in the past. I tell you what time to look for these things to form. That way you're not just going around and looking at charts blindly. Go right to these specific times of the day. That's where it's going to form. For those people that go back in their old data and their old charts and they study that, they see it, they don't need me to do 50 examples of that. They don't need to see me do it live 50 times a week. They're sold on the idea. Okay, there's something here. It merits more investigation because I see the evidence of this thing occurring. It's not contrived. It's not conjectured. It's not made up. It's not fabricated. It's really happening every day. And once you see that, you don't need to have anybody else to cheerlead for you. You know, okay, there's something here. I'm going to mine that. So I give you just a few models so that way you go in and you now start working on the skill sets that are required. Not veering off course, just, hopping from one PD array, one approach, fair value gap, inversion value gap, breakers, market maker models, buy, sell. There's 1,000 things out there that I teach. Every individual one of them is a model. Every single one of them is an individual model. But I give you, this is the best way to learn. I'm allowing you to pick your weapon. I've opened my arsenal doors. So here it is. Look what I have here. Pick your weapon. But nothing changes when it comes to time. Time of day, these things occur at specific times, certain days of the week, certain weeks of the month, certain month of the year. I'm allowing you to bring your personality, your personal influence, because you're the problem and you're the last puzzle piece. See, some of you are sitting around here, you're writing diligent notes, you're doing this, you're doing that, and that's wonderful. But you're all waiting for that last penny to drop. The last ICT puzzle piece. And then it's all going to come together. It's all going to be crystal clear. Once he tells me this one PD, the 81 PD arrays, final last one. That's it. That's it. That's the Holy Grail. No, it's not. If you walked over to your mirror right now.
If you're having a bad day, and we all have bad days, 3 losing trades in a row, you turn the machine off and go home. Doesn't make you a loser, doesn't make you a bad trader. You'll come back from a bad day, you'll come back from a bad week, but you will not come back from revenge trading where you turn your account that's up $4,000 into a loser of 20 grand. And I've seen it time and time again, okay? Never turn a winning trade into a losing trade. Never turn a winning day into a losing day. Never revenge trade. If you're losing, turn the machine off and go home. On every trade that you make, you must have a stop order. If you have a mental stop, you're mental. You have a stop order and you never change it. If you're in a trade and it goes against you, you're out of the trade, you move on to the next one. If you're in a trade and it becomes successful, take a profit while you can. Up 50 cents, up $1. Move your stop order up to break even so you can never turn a winning trade into a losing trade. And then use a trailing stop to make as much out of your winners and lose as least out.